Welcome back, everyone, to the Quick Sieve. Today we are starting Siman Gimel. Ksiv says, "V'yatzneil lachas im alakecha." I walk modestly with God. Lefichach, accordingly, sadach adam lies tzanil b'chol erchaisav. A person has to be modest in all the things that he does. V'lachein shleivish ay paishet es chalukah. And therefore, whenever you put on or take off your robe, ayishar bagad shal basar, or any other garment that you have, yidaktek miyayit shalai legasis gufa. You should be very careful that you don't reveal your body. Rather, he should dress and undress while under the coverings of the bed. And you shouldn't say to yourself, I'm in a room, it's dark, by myself, no one's going to see me. Because God's glory fills up the entire world. And darkness is like light before him. And being modest brings a person to serve God. A person should not copy the ways of non-Jews, like their hairstyles or their clothing or the statutes that they follow. As it says, you should not go in the ways of non-Jews. You shouldn't go in their ways. You should be careful not to be convinced to copy them. One should not dress in a garment that is a symbol of pride because he's greater than everyone else. Like a governor, the governor has a specific clothing they wear. A Jew should not be wearing that clothing to show that they are better than everyone else. Similarly, the Gemara says, a Jew cannot copy a non-Jew even with the way they tie their shoes. If the Jews and non-Jews tie their shoes in different ways, some Jews cannot copy the non-Jews. Or if it's like a custom for them, for non-Jews to tie their shoes with red laces, we Jews should not be copying their red laces. And the Jews are using black laces because black is a symbol of modesty and humbleness. A Jew cannot copy this. And from this, every person can learn what is appropriate for the time and place. A Jew should not be wearing clothing that symbolize pride. They should rather be wearing clothing that symbolize humbleness and modesty. The Sifri teaches us that you shouldn't say, since they are wearing purple garments, I will also wear purple garments. Since they are going out with weapons, I will also go out with weapons. I am basically copying them. These purple garments and weapons, or etc., symbolize pride. Jews are not about that. They're about symbolizing humbleness, so we cannot wear that. And anything that the non-Jews follow, which can be considered idol worship, Jews can't do that. You shouldn't cut your hair or shave your hair or let your hair grow long like they do. Rather, we should be different with them, with what we wear, with the way we act and what we speak. The same as the way we think of the world. And therefore it says, I separated you from the nations, and he's separating us because we are different, and we should not be copying what they do, because we are a different nation, we have to act differently. A Jew should not dress himself in expensive clothing. Because wearing expensive clothing can lead someone to have feelings of gaiva, because it will lead to feelings of pride. A person should not go to the other extreme either, because if you're going to wear clothing that is cheap and dirty, the public will scorn you. Rather, you should wear clean clothes at an average price. This way, you don't stand out, you don't feel like you're better than everyone else because you have more expensive clothing. Rather, you are wearing average stuff. Obviously, if you can afford it. This is a quote. A person should sell all of the things he owns, even the supporting beam of his house, to put shoes on his feet. You can find that the right hand, the right feet is more significant in the Torah. Of regards to the Gayanim's Aveda in the base Midrash Alidim by Yad, Aveda, Gashibloim, Shamatzaira, Alidim Mitzvah Chalitza. The Indian of using the right thumb and the large toe on the right foot, and regarding things like Mitzvah and Chalitza, and the right hand and the right foot are usually more significant. Therefore, so therefore, when you put on a garment, you should put it in the right hand first and then the left. And when you take off those garments, you should take the left hand out first and then take out the right, because it shows the right hand is in the garment for the longest. You put it in first and you take it out last. But regarding tying one's shoes, the left foot is more significant because you use the left arm to tie the tefillin. And therefore, when you need to tie your shoes, you first tie the left shoe. And so when you are tying shoes with laces, you first put on the right shoe, you don't tie. And then you put on the left shoe, and then you tie the left shoe. And afterwards you tie the right. And the same thing applies to the other garments. A person should take care not to put two articles of clothing, different clothes at the same time, because doing so can lead to loss of memory. One is not allowed to walk 4 amres or speak any holy words with an uncovered head, without something on his head covering. And even small children should wear a covering, because this will lead them to fear God. As you can find in the story about Rab Nachman Bar Yitzchak. A astrologer once told Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak's mother, Brech Ganava Hava, your son, Rav Nachman, is going to be a thief. Lash Vakte Gilei Reisha, did not allow his head to be uncovered. Amara Le Kasei Reisha Kihechi Desavi Allah Imsa Dishmai V'chulu, because this will lead him to fear heaven, and obviously he did, because he became Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak. Aser Leilech B'kaim Zakufa V'Gardin Natoi. It is forbidden to walk like you're the king of the world, with your head up and your neck outstretched. That is forbidden. Never, as it says, they walked with their heads up, their necks stretched up. Nevertheless, a person shouldn't put their head down more than normal, Ella, rather, somewhere in the middle. So you can see what's coming in front of him. And you can also see his feet, basically somewhere in the middle. So you can tell, just from the way they're walking, if they're a smart person who is full of knowledge or a fool. King Solomon, he said, with his brains, that you can tell that someone is a fool just by the way they're walking. A person should be very careful. They should be walking between 2 women, and not between 2 dogs, or 2 pigs. And it doesn't mean that they're all in the same category. That's just the way the Kitzur is listing them. And similarly, 2 men should not allow a woman, a dog, or a pig to walk right between them. And that was Sifches. We'll see you in the next one.